Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today, certainly it's been a while. I know I have not been posting much to start off the year. Like I said, just a bunch of things didn't go right, just with schedule. But even then, I knew that I told you guys that I wasn't gonna be uploading much to start off the year because the Dolphins got eliminated first round. So with that being said, we're back. We're gonna be back to We're gonna be back to pretty much regular content again. But here we are, fourth video of the year, but the first video of draft season. So here we are. What the Miami Dolphins' focus should really be in the 2024 draft. The Dolphins are only scheduled to have 2 picks in the first 4 rounds this year. So the numerous mock drafts that have already surfaced before the 2024 scouting combine. The Dolphins have been linked to multiple prospects at several different positions. Whether it's an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, or a wide receiver 3 or a cornerback, there should absolutely be a requirement for the Miami Dolphins when it comes to the 21st overall pick and the first round or their second round pick. The Dolphins need prospects who can contribute right away. This is a team that's trying to win now. So we need prospects that can contribute now. And the requirement should be, even if it means taking somebody with less potential upside, you want somebody to come in and can help, feel like a rock solid player ready to roll right now. And as you guys can tell, I am recording this outside. Less distractions inside, less noise inside. So yeah. But the Dolphins need to go for a safer prospect in the draft. The Dolphins are in their window right now. They are in the contention window for the next 4 years, probably. The Dolphins have been doing a great job opening cap space. They have more draft capital than last year, more to work with, but now they have it all to pretty much be capable of making a Super Bowl run. How close the Dolphins are to being a Super Bowl team is debatable, but we will save that for another day. But, in my opinion, I think the Dolphins in this draft, their main priority in the first round should be to get an offensive lineman, and it should be a guard. Because the Dolphins' offensive line has been an absolute disaster over the last few years. They lost Robert Hunt to the Carolina Panthers. When you lose a guy like that, you need to find a replacement. You can't go into next year with this offensive line. It's just not happening. I can't see a world where I can see Lester Cotton being the replacement for Robert Hunt. No. Absolutely not. You have Teron Armstead, which is great. Robert Jones is okay. I can ride with Robert Jones for a year. But the Dolphins have Jason Hines at center, which much better than Liam Eichenberg, I can say that. And they have Austin Jackson at right tackle. But Lester Cotton was an absolute disaster last year for the Miami Dolphins, and I am not willing to see this go again. So, in the first round, let's think theoretically. Pick 21, right? My goodness, this is a hard one because there's just so many great, Let's think Troy Fatunau, or I don't know how to say his fucking last name. I'm sorry. Fatunu or Fat? Oh my god. Let's say Troy F. From the Washington Huskies. I don't know how to say his last name. I've been a big fan of him though. He had a great season in his last year with the Washington Huskies. He was a big part of their offensive line. But I watched him a lot. He was great. But the point is that, let's say theoretically, he's there at pick 21. It is not a guy you can pass on. He is a guy that can come in and be the instant, he should be Miami's top draft target. Okay, this guy is next generation type shit. He's the next generation. So he would be the ideal plan to be blocking for Tagovailoa. Like, my God, how we can hope and pray he lands at 21, but he's an explosive left tackle prospect. My goodness, if he gets drafted, he would be the starting tackle right away. He has the overall positional flexibility to play all offensive lineman spots. You know, he has the potential to be an all-pro guard this year. I genuinely think that. He could very well be the successor for Teron Armstead when he's done in the NFL. But we will worry about that when that time comes. But however, when you have a guy like that, Troy Fatuanu, or however you say his last name, he's a brawler. The Dolphins need him. Now, I will be doing a mock draft later today, and I will be making a video about that. There will be 3 mock drafts posted during my draft season. This is going to be the first one posted today. I am more than likely going to put Troy on the mock draft for the Dolphins for the first one. Now, the question is, if the Dolphins do not get him, who should they get in the first round? If they can't trade up, if he's not there at pick 21, who would I want? Xavier Worthy. He is the absolute option for this Dolphins squad. Because he was linked up with Mike McDaniel during the combine. He had a great combine. He had a great season in Texas. He is a speedy wide receiver who can get open down the field to make plays and can win in the clutch. I truly think that he would be a great wide receiver 3 for the Dolphins if they do not sign Odell Beckham Jr. If the Dolphins sign Odell Beckham Jr., I would like to see the Dolphins go somewhere else in the draft with their 21st overall pick if it's not Troy from Washington. So, but if they do not sign Odell Beckham Jr., I would like to see Xavier Worthy come in and be the wide receiver 3 for us. So, I think the main focus for the Miami Dolphins this draft should really be, like, there are, people think that we do not have that many holes when really we do. We have a lot more holes than people think. So, in my opinion, the Dolphins this draft should be looking for an offensive lineman, specifically guard, a wide receiver who can jump in at the wide receiver 3 position in replacement of Trent Sherfield, which we have not been able to find that replacement that can take the role he brought in Mike McDaniel's first year. But I would like to see the Dolphins add a safety, because Javon Holland is the only safety on the Miami Dolphins roster. So, ideally you should go after a safety. I would like to see the Dolphins maybe go after a defensive tackle. We lost Christian Wilkins. Maybe a defensive tackle later in the draft would be good. He is Devontae Sweat. That would be a good one. For safety, Javon Bullard from Georgia. He's not a first-round prospect, but since Javon Holland is the only safety on Miami's roster, he would be a great pickup for the Dolphins, especially considering the season he had in Georgia last year, and he could serve at the rookie season development year. So if you add Bullard in the second round, then he gives us a player who can develop into a starter to play next to Javon Holland while filling as a need as a rotational player who can definitely step in if an injury happens. So I do think defensive tackle, guard, wide receiver, and safety should absolutely be the top priorities for the Miami Dolphins this draft. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Remember, there will be a mock draft, the first mock draft of draft season coming out today for the Dolphins. Stay tuned for that. And see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Okay, guys, I finally got Troy Fautanu's name correct. His last name, it said is Fautanu, so it took me like an hour just to figure out how to pronounce the name properly after figuring out for like 6 months. So, yeah.